Hey ESGN Nation, and welcome back to the second custom prospect special here today. As we're finishing up here today, as we're going to get to athletes 11 through 20. And like I said, these are some of the recruits that you guys submitted, as well as some that we have created ourselves here for the series, just to make the series just a little bit more interesting. And we'll see what some of our players are here. You already met athletes 1 through 10. Of course, not in particular order, but a lot of them, of course, in the last episode we've seen quite a few wide receivers, but I think now we're gonna get a little bit more defensive happy here and this second part of the video. Hopefully you guys are of course enjoying the series here so far, and of course if you guys want to be a part of this series, you guys know what to do. Just follow us on our Discord down below in the description. But basically we're just looking for your name, first, last name, position, where they're from, and of course if they're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, and then what pretty much that's the information. And then from there, your player will be roughly around about 70, between 70 and 75 overall, unless you give me a very convincing story, and then I can I'll bump it up a little bit more, no higher than 80. But we're gonna get to Quentin Ganafini. 6'4", 181 pounds. He's a strong safety from St. Helens, Oregon, just northwest of Portland. He has excellent speed for his position. Of course, a lot of coaches are saying they could be better, but his acceleration and agility are just as top notch as well. But we'll tell you guys a little bit about the guy. He's a 3-sport athlete. He played basketball, football, and baseball. But Giovanni has helped his team in the last 3 years. He has now helped his team win the national championship ever since he was a freshman. And a lot of people, a lot of the coaches, and a lot of the staff on his high school full team really see this young man as something, especially some of the even schools around Oregon State have been trying to recruit him when he was in his freshman year. He hasn't made no commitments yet, but this is his fourth year, his final year in high school, and of course he would like to walk out of here, at least walk out of high school with a 4th straight state title. And they call him, his nickname around campus is Mr. Oregon, as he was both on the all-state football and basketball team last season. Gus Ryan is your next player here. We're looking at from Laurel, Montana, just southwest of Billings, Montana. We had another one earlier that was in Montana as well. And Gus Ryan, 6'11", 255 pounds. He's a tight end. He has a great acceleration from what we can see from a great acceleration, great agility. Of course, with that height that he has right there, he is definitely going to be a huge target for whoever decides to pick him up as a player for their team. But a little bit of information about him. He had a growth spurt when he was in the 6th grade, and he is people when he was in 8th grade, people thought he was a senior in high school. He is a 6'11". His dad told he needs to be playing more sports, because when he was in junior high he didn't play as many sports, but his dad said, hey, you got the height, you got the you got all these talents that a lot of people are clamoring for. You need to do something with it. His dad was actually from Indianapolis, and when he would go back to Indianapolis from time to time, and when he did, he became a huge Colts fan. He says he kind of emulates his style of play, like one of the great Colts tight ends, Dallas Clark. So that's awesome. Coming up next is Malone Banks, 6'3", 275 pounds, right tackle from Columbus, Nebraska. Just far out west, about 2 or 3 hours west of Omaha. And for him, he, as you see there, his abilities, or you'll see his abilities here in just a bit. A lot of coaches here. We actually got to play. Actually, he actually played against Miles Marvel in the series, in the Road to Glory series as well. But some information about him. He is one of the most feared pass rushers in the state of Nebraska. He lead in tackles for loss and sacks in Nebraska, and also just as well as in the nation. The last 2 seasons. Last season, he had 7 sacks in a single game, the most from one player from his high school. So, very impressive there. Many compare his playing style as close to J.J. Watt, and many scouts are clamoring for him for this season. A lot of scouts are saying he has a very nice high IQ, and he's a very well polished defensive player that just needs to just go out there and show what he can do. And I'm sure a lot of top tier division schools that are looking for a defensive player would definitely be going after him this coming up this fall here. We're recruiting Joshua Allen from Prairie Creek, Oklahoma, just northwest of Tulsa. Outside linebacker, 6'5", 265 pounds. Well, we got a lot of tall guys in this class. Great speed for his size and his ability, as well as strength. Right now I believe he holds the power. He's actually went to power lift when he was younger, and continues doing that to some extent here. But he had a rough year. This has been a rough year for him. His town of Prairie Creek, Oklahoma, have really rallied around him and his father after he lost his mother last fall because of breast cancer. Joshua's mother, Candy, was a huge fan and a cheerleader of his when he was playing football, and of course, for a brief time he almost stopped, but a lot of his friends and family told him not to stop because that's not what his mother wanted him to do. And he's been a really good linebacker since junior high, and is to continue doing so here. He is one of the best linebackers in the state of state of Oklahoma. But he says that he's going to keep on. He wants to play for the University of Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, as his mother was not a big fan of Oklahoma University. So University of Oklahoma is not on his list, but he says if he has to, he's willing to, he just wants to play football in honor of his mother. Paul Irving is up next, as you see here, 6'6", 270 pounds. He's from North Platte, Nebraska, just west of Lincoln as well. And we'll see he's a defensive tackle. And of course, he got some really good, nice defensive tackle skills for him. But he's a young man that comes from a family of 12. Wow, he has 7 sisters and 4 brothers. And growing up there, he says he was always in a fight in the house of some sort. He is the 8th of the 12, and says that he got picked on as a young kid, and that was kind of toughening him up to be a football player here, especially in the state of Nebraska. He has 3 older sisters who are great basketball players, and who have also, which 2 of them also are great softball players. So athletics is really important in their family. They both got scholarships to local universities and colleges. He just wants to be able to do the same thing, but on the scene of being a great football player. And also too, he has 2 brothers are also stars of their own. Both of them got wrestling scholarships. One goes to Iowa, and I believe the other one goes to a small D2 school, if I'm not mistaken. And here we go, see Giovanni Garrison from Abilene, Texas. He's a right tackle, 6'7", 280 pounds. He has great strength, agility, and acceleration, as well as hit power. Giovanni, a short little burp about him. His father played in the University of Texas back in the 80s, and his grandfather played for the same school back in the 1950s. He's an all-Texas player for that state. He's gotten offers already from Texas A&M, and many other Texas schools. So we asked him about that, and he says no. He did. He's got interest in those schools. He wouldn't mind playing for the University of Texas, just like his dad and grandfather did. But he says, he kind of want to carve his own path, be his own trailblazer, and do his own thing. Last season he is a pass rusher, so last season he led in tackles for his team. He actually led in tackles twice, back-to-back seasons now for his high school team, and he's looking to try to do the same thing again this upcoming fall for his senior year. But yeah, he says that the tables, whatever school he feels comfortable with, that feels like home to him, he's willing to go to. It doesn't matter if it's a tech school or not. It's just a school that he feel like he can get a good jump on, and maybe even get a starting position if he can. And of course, we're like I said, all these players you see here, we're going to try to do our best to try to recruit them, but at the same time, we're going to try to stay realistic. Of course, one of our populating schools is Texas, so he is definitely going to be on our radar there in that right outside linebacker position as well. Take a look at Corbin Ning. He is 6'8", 280 pounds from Claremont, California, just outside of LA, actually. He's a defensive tackle, and this is a very interesting story. He's a third-generation Korean American. His father and grandfather were huge football fans, international football, aka soccer. But when they came, his grandfather came here in the States. He seen the NFL and he really fell in love with it and became just a overall huge fan, and wanted his father to play, or wanted his son to play sports, play football. But Corbin's father say that he was not really good at not that athletic, but he's hoping someday that his son would be. And so far his son's getting there, almost there. Corbin says he's a big fan of Dominic Sue, and of course, he's a Nebraska. He's a not necessarily a Nebraska fan, but he does follow Sue's career quite closely. Corbin, in both of his sophomore and junior year seasons, a lot of people were comparing him to like Sue, having kind of similar numbers as Sue had in college. And he says that he someday he's hoping to see himself be in the contention for a Heisman Trophy, and then eventually get into the NFL. So there you see Corbin, great player there, great story there with him. Of course, he says he wants to go to college to get a business degree so he can help out the family's businesses around the LA area, as well as create his own business someday in the future. And plus, he would like to, most importantly, help his family out with that. And to do that, I feel like he needs to go to a D1 school and play in the NFL. And hopefully he's hoping his dreams will come true. Up next is Samuel Morgan, 6'9", 240 pounds, from Plant City, Florida. It's just out east of Tampa, and he's a middle linebacker. Great strength there for him, great tackle, and also excellent player. You can recognize he got a really good IQ for that position. But he is a top 10 in his. Samuel is a top 10 player in his county, as well as possibly in the state when it comes to the middle linebacker position. Morgan has helped his high school win a state championship for the first time in 40 years. His Uncle Bobby is his coach, and Uncle Bobby says that he believes that he is he's a well enough player, and he feels that he realized it when he was when Samuel was playing in the eighth grade. So he's very impressed with him. He's been working with him for quite some time. And ironically enough, that last time that his Sam school won a state championship, his Uncle Bobby was happened to be on that state championship team. So that's pretty cool. Sam says that his Uncle Bobby's always wanted to play in the NFL and never got a chance to because of the injury. But he did play some professional football back in the original USFL days, back in the 80s. And he says that his uncle Bobby says he believes that Sam could be a great tool for a college team and be that missing link to help them to get to that next level of being national champions. Of course, like I said, Samuel Morgan, he says he's a huge fan of Tampa Bay and hopes to come back, go to school for some time, and then get a chance to play for his hometown team. Next up is Gerard Jackson. He is 6'3", 245 pounds. He's from Paris, Texas, just northeast of Dallas, Texas. He's a fullback, but also can play running back. But he's known for really being a fullback, for being a great blocker, as well as a great receiving back as well. That'd be very nice for a lot of teams out there that don't see to the fullback position being talked about too much nowadays. Fullback's kind of a lost art, but he's a hometown hero. Gerard has been helping he's helped his team come back from being down by 35 points in a big important game last season, and Gerard and his teammates were really kind of getting down on themselves there. But Gerard kept saying, "Guys, we got to stay with it. We gotta keep up with this. We gotta stay with them." And this game was back. It was just 1 week before the big. It was actually the homecoming game. Excuse me. Being down and out, they had a coach talk to them during halftime, and when they came back out to the second half, Gerard alone ran for 250 yards in that second half alone, scoring four rushing touchdowns, as well as helping and passing two touchdowns. He threw 2 touchdowns and helped them win the game 49-35. Talk about a huge turnaround in that game. And now Gerard says that was a highlight of his career, and he was even getting some praise locally in the local media, as well as in some schools near him, like North Texas and a couple other smaller schools. No bigger schools too much, but I wouldn't be surprised if enough time here, if he has another year like that coming up in his senior year. I'm sure they'll definitely be knocking on his door. But last but not least, our last player here we're going to talk about is Jalen Reed, 6'5", 255 pounds, from East Point, Georgia, just southwest of Atlanta, Georgia. He's an outside linebacker. He has really great speed. He is really a true athlete. This kid has played all kinds of types of sports. He's played baseball, football, basketball. And anytime he gets a chance to try to perfect his game, he has. He's been gone to many camps all across the state, as well as all across the country, to just try to perfect his game even more so. So his summers are usually filled with working out and, of course, trying to get himself better for the next season ahead. Jalen has gone to many football camps, and especially his most favorite football camp he likes to go to, and he's gone to this one since he was 5 years old, and that is going to a Falcon legend, Keith Brookings, football camp that he has every single year. Jalen plays left outside linebacker, just like the Atlanta Falcons great and legend there. And he wants to get a scholarship to play for the University of Georgia and be a Bulldog. That's always been his dream, and he's hoping that dream will come alive. But he says he understands that if the Bulldogs don't want him, then he's willing to go to Alabama. So there you have it there. Throw a little shade there, but at the same time, he says it's not important. But his mother really wants him to stay close to home. She wants him to either go to Georgia State or Georgia Tech and be part of their football team there as well. He says that he loves his mother a lot, but he says, "Mom, I need some space." So we'll see if we can try to recruit him and maybe hopefully convince his mom that being here in the state of Kansas is a pretty safe place for him. And of course, hopefully we can get him and help him with his dreams to come alive, to be that next step here. Of course, Coach Teddy Bonds has done a great job with the players that he's got here so far, getting him quite a few of them into the NFL, and of course a lot of them have been successful. But yeah, that's all the players right now for season 8, or excuse me, season 7. Again, if you guys want to be a part of this series, all we need to know is your player's name, where their height, weight, where they're from, what position, and then from there, we will basically, your freshman will start out to be a 75, between a 70 and 75 overall. If you want to make your player even more interesting, with better abilities and stuff like that, and get to push it over close to 80, we do have a Patreon page. There's a link down below. You guys can follow that along and fill that stuff out there as well. But again, follows on Discord there. There's, like I said, a great explanation of what we're looking for players, and especially, most importantly, just story. Just tell us a good story. Convince us. If you convince us enough, we might even push you up a little past over 75 overall. But that's where I kind of want to have this freshmen start out there. Or if you want to come in as a transfer player, then you're a little closer. You know, you come in as a junior transfer or something like that. Then yeah, a JUCO player of some sort. Then you're gonna be somewhere dancing around that 77, 78 overall for the series. But yeah, that's it. Like I said, the next episode you guys will see will be another Scotties Sports Talk. It'll be the preview of the upcoming season. We'll talk about the big game coming up here, our first game of the season, which will be against Alabama, number 1 versus number 2. And of course, show you guys just a preview of the season and our thoughts and everything of what we're hoping will happen for us as we go into this next season. But that's it for today. As always, guys, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you happen to be new. Hit that bell notification so you guys can be notified when this series or any other series happens to drop, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. And check us out over on Twitch, as we do live stream over on Twitch on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Central over there on Twitch. As always, guys, again, keep each other healthy. Go Scotty Nation, and I'll see you all next time.